What is going on, guys? J-Hoy back with you today. I'm bringing you the 19th episode of the Be a GM series, and once again, I'm being joined by my brother, the assistant GM, Chris. How you doing today?
What's up, man? Excited to be recording again and getting into this off season because that's honestly the probably best part of all of sports besides the playoffs.
Definitely agree with that, but as we go into the draft, I don't believe we had any retirements because I don't notice anybody major from our team, at least. You can see Jason Pominville did retire, but who cares about him? But let's go right into the draft. I actually don't know what pick we're going to have, but probably around the same, as we don't even have a first-round pick. Yeah. Okay, so we did get our first-round pick back from LA. So either way, now they have Quentin Howden, and now we have a first-round pick. So either way, okay then. Even though he's listed in the third round, obviously he's the best player that we can find so far. Let's try to find something different just in case there's anything better. But it doesn't seem like there's anything better. So would you rather, Chris, go for one of these potential guys up here and then maybe wait? Or would you rather just go get the best guy with the 4.5 green star now?
Well, Josh, you know, I don't even remember if we had a second-round pick. And honestly, we did have a second-round pick. All right, so personally, you might as well go grab Alavara because usually teams in the NHL, at least on video games, don't stray from their projection. So I'm going to say take Alavara now because he's the highest projected good guy there, and then we'll just take Stahl in the second round. If Stahl goes before then, you can just punch me in the face, quite honestly.
I kind of like that, actually. But either way, I do agree with you. I do think that's the best choice here in this situation. Like you said, video games obviously aren't like real life. They don't look at the potentials like on video games. So either way, Alavara, right wing sniper that shoots lefty, which annoys me. But either way, we're going to pick him up. And we do have a second-round pick. It's 27th overall. And I'm not exactly sure where the other guy was projected to go. But we're just going to kind of YOLO status this, and hopefully he didn't get taken. I don't remember what his name was actually, but we're going to go right into the draft here anyway, and he did not get taken. So Alan Stahl, welcome to Ottawa. I don't think that's really a question here, and we're just going to continue on with the second round. But either way, from now, I'm going to simulate right till the start of the signing scene. There's nothing really else in the draft we really want. So as we go into the re-sign stage, we do have our top guys in Zibanejad and Carlson do needing new contracts. So we'll just start right out with the centers and go and offer them some contracts. So Mika Zibanejad wants a little bit of an upgrade in contract. So let's try to get him for around a 5 at 5 kind of thing. $5 million at 5 years. Do you like that contract, Chris?
Looks good to me, boss.
All right. Simple words there. But Peugeot, I definitely want to bring him back. I love the player. Does want to kind of want a big of a contract here. So I think let's sign him for 1 year since he's going to be up in the NHL probably this year. Give him a 1-year tryout at $950,000 because that's a simple contract. Easy to move if we have to. Nick Paul, I don't want you. And unlike some other YouTubers that do NHL series, I do like keeping prospects and like developing them in the AHL other than just releasing them and thinking that they're nothing good. Because as I know from experience from other games in this game, that no matter what the overall or what the potential, sometimes that can fool you. Like sometimes like a Peugeot will be put up like crazy numbers, or some terrible guy that you might think is terrible that just absolutely goes off in a season, and people just release them because they don't realize it. But if you can become a veteran in the NHL world, then you'll notice that a lot more. But we also have Mike Hoffman needing a new contract, and definitely want to bring him back, but he does kind of want a lot of money in about $6 million. So if we go around 5 years, I think we signed Zibanejad to that also. If we go around a 5.75, that should go through, right, Chris?
We'll see. Probably have to bump it up to $6 million, but either way, worth it for a top line forward.
Definitely agree. So as we go on, we have Colin Greening. I would like to keep him for the fourth line. However, he does want a little bit more money than I want to give him. So unless he wants to accept this $1.5 million offer, then I probably do not want to bring him back. Even though he's listed as a third line scoring forward, don't really know why. But Shane Prince, I do want to keep him, but his potential is not really there. So I'm gonna. Do you want to bring Prince back here?
our Binghamton Senators bias would say yes, but for the benefit, for the benefit of the GM series, I'm going to say no.
All right. I will go with that just because we do want to move forward with our future and need more of a good prospects, good potential type of players. And as we look at the rest of the players, in case you didn't notice, we have a bunch of unsigned guys that we'll probably sign as we look forward to the free agent signing area if we can, or like Puljarvi or whatever his name is down here that we have to sign before the free agency starts, or we lose him to free agency. Even though we could go sign him there, but it's nice to know that he can be ours before that. But one player I'm going to release right away is Cole Schneider. I think we talked before the video and said we didn't want him anyway. But Jakob Silfverberg, former Senator in his own right, but we brought him back because we know he's a scorer on the game at least. But he does want kind of a hefty contract here. So I know he wants 4.6. But let's try 3.85. Now, if you know how the salary works in the game, it definitely you can manipulate it pretty well. But 3.8 isn't too much, and it's a pretty easy contract to move. It's not too much, and it's not too little to where it'd easily go through or too hard to go through. So I definitely think that's a good contract. So we do want him back, but in maybe some cases we don't. Mark Stone definitely did pretty well for us last year. Does want not too big of a contract, which is good. But either way, it's manageable to get and to move if we have to. But we'll try along a 3-year at a 1.5. That gives us a couple years to know that we do want him and we do want to give him a shot here in Ottawa. But like I said before, Jesse, whatever his name is, I definitely want to bring him back, or actually bring him in general. And David Soltis here, or Soltez, or whatever his name is. What do you think about this player?
It's interesting. I'd probably wait on him until we're done re-signing the rest of the guys. We'll assess our team and see if he's better than the other options we have. We can keep him around for one more year as he is restricted, so we can offer him whatever kind of contract we want. So I think we'll should probably wait on that one and base it on need.
Definitely agree. You got to look at your team and see if you actually want him. But here's a player that we did want to bring in. I know for a fact in Cal Babich or Babyich or whatever your name is. But we did want to bring him in a while ago, but the numbers just didn't work beforehand. But either way, there's obviously a couple of younger players we'd like to bring in eventually, but maybe not this minute. But Eric Carlson, I don't think there's really a question about this one. You want to bring him back. He does want a long-term contract, so obviously we want to give that to him. We want him to be here for the rest of his career. Obviously, once a Senator, always a Senator in his career. But if we can get him for a lower contract that he wants, it would definitely help our budget to bring in other players. If not, then we'll have to go with what he wants. But how about we try a 5.5 at 7 years? I think that's a good contract. It's good length, and if we want, we can also trade him eventually for a top-line guy, so we have a CC or a Clefbaum or maybe a Trouba or whoever we pick up to fill that spot. We go on to Clefbaum. I would like to bring him back, but he does want a lot of money, again, being young and has the potential there. But what do you think about Clefbaum, and do you think he can contribute to our future?
I think you could probably offer him $3 million. I don't know what he did last year, so we'll have to see there. 12 points. That's about Jacob Trouba numbers. I'd say maybe try $3 million. Anything way more than that, I'd say is really overpaying for him. I think you're pointing out the plus minus there. Obviously very solid, but 12 points for a second line defenseman playing next to Cody Ceci. I don't know. It doesn't sound like a sure thing to me.
But like you said, he's playing alongside Cody Ceci. In case you don't remember from last year, guys, or in case you didn't remember, Chris, Cody Ceci absolutely went off last year. 63 points, 7 goals, 56 assists, and I believe led our team in scoring in the playoffs. I'm not exactly sure on that fact, but either way, great player that we need back. But like I said before the video, that you guys didn't hear, but I told Chris that I would like to upgrade our defense if we could. So maybe if we want to upgrade that spot, maybe we could even throw Clefbaum in the trade or whatever the case may be. Obviously, have a young guy like CC and 2 veterans like Carlson and Yandel. Obviously, need one other guy up there to play alongside of one of them and create 2 good lines and maybe have a not so good third line, but still pretty good that wouldn't really hurt you too much. But Clefbaum, I don't think I even offered you the contract that we said we were going to. But let's go back and do that really quickly, and then we'll proceed to, I believe, Jacob Trouba is next. And then we have Paul Postman to look at. But Jacob Trouba, playing the third line, does want 2.75, but 1 year, 1.75. I like that number, but I kind of don't. With a third line being 1 year, I do kind of like that 1 year, but 1.75, I like that offer, so I'm gonna actually offer him 1.5. I think that's this. Yeah, it's the same as he had last year, and it's not too much, and it's only 1 year, so it won't really hurt you. Plus, being 83 and still young, kind of the same player as he probably will be next year. But either way, Paul Postman, I'd like to bring him back, but I'm actually gonna wait on him because he's one of those depth guys that are probably going to want like a two-way contract or a 1 year, $1 million contract in the offseason. So I'm going to wait on him for a second, and we're going to look down towards this. But Mark Borowiecki doesn't really have a purpose on our team at the moment. He was playing the AHL this year, or he was scratched in the AHL, or he was a depth guy in his own right. But I don't think we're going to bring him back, especially being a defensive defenseman, which you guys know I don't like. And Frederick Claesson, my favorite player, definitely want to bring him back. 3 years. Plus, if he grows, that's even better. But that's definitely a good contract in my mind. And then I know my brother's favorite player, Chris Weidman. Chris Weidman. Let's bring him back, even though I didn't really want to. But he had a good year last year, so let's bring him back at 3 years. And then maybe after that, if he starts sucking or whatever, we won't bring him back. But Ben Harper, another player that I haven't really seen too much of in real life. Haven't really heard too much about him. I think he's coming over to the AHL this year. I'm not exactly sure in real life. But either way, defensive defenseman, 23 years old, not a lot of potential. Don't want to keep him. But I don't remember who was next. Lawrence Palau or whatever his name is. You got a couple of guys here that are unsigned. What do you want to do these two players in Palau and Sensky?
It looks like at least one of them would be playing. Did we have any other AHL defensemen above Frederick Claesson there? We had Weekstrand. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You need one of those guys to keep to play next to Jeremy Roy or Chris Weidman, whoever we have on the third line. So I would say keep Sensky and get rid of Pilot for all intents and purposes. 1 year younger, same overall. Really the only things I looked at there in making that decision.
All right, well, he didn't actually play here before, so he's going to have that entry-level contract being a 3-year deal. But this is one of the guys we got in the draft. I don't know if you guys actually saw that or not, but Alan Stahl, not Aaron Stahl, ended up turning out to a 4 red star at 66 overall. So he's pretty good in his own right. But then I would have loved to see the potential there a little bit more. But after that, we have a couple of other unsigned guys. Going on to our goalies. Now, I know before we were trying to trade Craig Anderson and not keep him, but trade him for whatever else. But this year is finally the year we can actually release him or do whatever we want. I'm just curious to see. He does want an actual contract. He is listed as a starting goalie. So as much as I would love to get actually something for him, we are going to release him. So goodbye, Craig Anderson. Thanks for all the years. But it ended up not working out because we want Leonard to grow, and at 26 years old, he's only got like a year or two more growing, and then hopefully either Dreger, Herringer, or whoever we bring in will grow and take the team to the next level. But Alex Moody. Now, before the video, Chris and I were talking. We wanted Herringer to grow and get better, and we have Dreger there being 24, 3 Green Star. What do you want to do with Moody here?
I'm going to say keep him. And if we need to, we can look to trade a goaltender, in the season. I know we have Dreger. I know you like him, but I was hoping Herringer, throughout the offseason will jump up and be beating Chris Dreger in overall. So Herringer can start as he is the youngest and the 76 overall. So for now, I'm going to say keep Moody, and if we need to later, we can get rid of a goaltender then.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Definitely want to get the guys going here in Binghamton, especially grow them and hopefully maybe back up Leonard or even take over his spot once he's finished with his career. But I'm going to keep him for 1 year so that way no matter what we can do whatever than last year. And probably see him. Carter Hart, we did get him in the draft, but you didn't see that because it was in like the 7th round, I believe, and it was down to him and another goalie. We were just kind of laughing, and ended up Corey Hart or whatever it's Carter Hart ended up being better than the other goalie. So let's try to see how many people we got back. I'm just gonna quickly go through it. It looks like a couple of guys did reject, and Carlson didn't accept. So sweet. Is there anybody that did not accept? That's what I want to know. Colin Green, he didn't accept. Okay, so I do want to keep him and I don't. So let's offer him 1.75. If he doesn't accept that, then we're just going to release him because I don't want to deal with him all the offseason. And going into next season, he'll be playing the 4th line most likely. So I don't really want to give him too much money and I don't want to give him too little. But either way, I do want to keep him for now. And who else didn't accept? I did see a couple other players didn't accept. Okay, so Silfverberg and Stone didn't accept. Okay, so Silfverberg, what did you want? You wanted a $4 million deal. So how about 2 years? Because that's what you're asking for. And then what if we go to about a 3.85? I kind of like that deal. 2 years will hopefully get him to where he wants like one more contract or whatever the deal. We have a lot of flexibility with that contract. It's basically what I'm trying to get at. But Mark Stone, definitely want to bring you back, but I don't want to give you. I think we offered him 1.5 last time, so let's offer him 1.75. So it's a little upgrade, and it's about a halfway between what we offered you before and what you were asking for. But either way, those guys accepted. Clefbaum did not. So what we offered him 3 at 3. So let's offer him 3.25 at 3 years. Still kind of the lower end, but any more than that, kind of getting in a range where you'd want like even your 2nd line to have, or on the lower end of a 1st line that you just get, or just becoming to get good, I should say. And then we also have Paul Postma that we still need to do something with. And other than that, everybody else re-signed that we offered contracts to, which is good. So let's see if those guys signed real quick, and then we will go on to figure out what we want. Of course, Colin Greening. So I think this is the time that we finally get rid of Colin Greening. Don't really have a spot for him, but if we could have got him for cheap, then that would have been great. But either way, we got a couple of other young guys that want to come up. I know that much, and I know we're kind of numbers-wise, we're kind of getting to our limit of players we want in the NHL, and I don't want to have too many NHL guys that are playing the AHL. I know there's a couple guys with depth-wise, but either way. So we have 2 guys that we still haven't signed. Paul Postman that we wanted to wait on, and David Soltis or whatever his name is. So what do you want to do with these 2 players?
Well, I think it makes sense to bring back Paul Postma at this point. I see we are tied with a cap space. We're going to be looking at about a $1.25 million deal with whoever we get to play on the 4th line, or else we have to bring up somebody from the AHL team. Soltis, I think we should assess our team really quick and then let our wonderful viewers know our decision once we're done, going with our team, All
right, so we'll get back to you once we figure that out. As we go past that, we did decide to release David Soltis or whatever his name is, and we actually brought back Paul Postman. He did reject 2 of our offers, but either way, we have him back now for 1 year at $1.1 million. And other than that, as you see, there's no one else that we need to sign. And wasn't there? Did we sign the guys that we needed to that we're going to lose if we didn't get them signed? I don't. Did we?
I don't think we.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, we
okay.
did, yeah.
So either way, let's go into the free agency. So what we really need is Well, here's the thing. We have very low cap room. So we're basically fighting cap at this point. We have our NHL team basically set, and we definitely need rookies. So either we try to trade a couple of guys that maybe won't fit, or we try to just sign guys that are almost like depth guys that could play in the AHL, or we could just try to go crazy with prospects. So either way, let's try to figure out what we really need. So basically what we need is depth players. So we need those guys that play in the AHL that have good potential. So those are the guys that have the better potential, as you see on your screen, or whatever the case may be. And we needed left wings, but there doesn't seem to be anything good there. But there is this guy. He's a two-way forward. He's 23, and he's a two-way forward. Okay, so there's one guy we could get. I won't put all this in the video, but as you see, there he is. We did release him. So there's not really much potential-wise this year, but there's a couple of defensemen, and there's a... Ooh. Okay. So now the one thing that's kind of making the game broke is that once a team gets so many unsigned guys, eventually they become to the point where they have to release him or they don't sign him because they don't have the room, because they always sign like depth goalies that make no sense in reality. They just sign whatever goalies they can afford or whatever goalies they can. But that always results in having a couple, usually it's goalies, but a couple of guys that have really good potential, and guys you can automatically snag for nothing, basically. You don't have to trade for them. There's no restriction. There's no restricted free agents. There's nothing like that. So I definitely think we should get one of these guys, but which guy would you rather have?
I'm going to say I would go with Dia. He's 1 overall more, yes, but and only 1 year younger. You can see right there on your screen. I don't know if any of you viewers caught this, but he went 1st overall in 2016 to New Jersey. So I would say pick him up. There's a good chance that he's going to jump 2 or 3 overall throughout the rest of the offseason, and he could probably fill a backup goaltender role for us going forward.
Yeah, like you said, we need that backup goalie. I think that's what we need anyway. So that might fill our role. If not, then we have Driedger there too. We could bring up, or we just sign some guy for 1 year and let the prospects develop in Binghamton or in juniors, wherever they decide to play. But one thing I did notice, if you guys didn't notice, I don't know if you noticed, Chris, but when I was looking, it did already have an offer. So usually when you see that right off the bat, usually they're restricted. But what I did notice is when you look at him, not even on the player, I might want to do that first before I try to explain my point. But he did get drafted by New Jersey, like I said, 1st overall. But the team that's interested in him is Columbus. So unless he got traded, then he's not restricted. But I definitely agree with your choice in Dea or D or whatever you pronounced it as before. So I do like that. And sorry if you could hear our dogs barking. They're going crazy out there. But either way, we're just going to continue on as well and looking for a depth. That's basically all we were doing. So there's nothing really happening. And if there is, then we'll bring it into the video. If not, then we'll go almost to the preseason and then show you everything from there. But either way, guys, we'll see you in a second. Heading into the preseason, we did already set our lines and our rosters, and as you can see on our screen now, we do have the return of the first line in Hoffman, Zibanejad, and Bobby Ryan. Yet again returning basically our second line from last year, except for we swapped Silfverberg and Stone. So now on this line, Silfverberg, Turris, and Shinkarik, along with Palat, Peugeot, and Stone on the third line. And our fourth line, more defensive than usual. Palmieri, Lazar, and Killorn there for our offensive lines. But for defensive lines, basically the same thing. Only replacement is Schutz. Now, Schutz you probably didn't see, but he was a free agent, and he was on an entry-level contract, 83 overall, and 21 years old. So now, like I said before, you got to look at the overall more than the potential, because potential can be deceiving. He might not have the best potential, but he's 83 overall. So if you look at him, he's a good player, but people may just see him and say, oh, he doesn't have potential, he's not going to be good. But this year, I bet he's going to put up more points than Trouba on that third line. I mean, being an offensive defenseman, kind of probably you expect that, but either way, you probably will see it anyway. But going to our goalies, Robin Leonard returning yet again as our starter, nothing changing there. But our backup, we did get rid of Craig Anderson, obviously, so we did have Herringer come up from the AHL, and he's going to be a backup this year. And if he starts struggling, then we have the guys down in Binghamton that can come up, and D, which you probably didn't see, but he's the 4.5 gold star guy that we decided to get other than the other guy. Then we also have Chris Driedger, and we have Alex Moody also down there. But I'm not going to go through the lines like I did in the NHL, but if you want to pause the video and notice the lines, I will just stand there for a second, and then our defensive lines you can notice there. But either way, guys, I think I'm going to end it here. No one really cares about the preseason. I think I'm just going to end it right here. But if you guys want to know what happens, I'll tell you in the next video. Let me know in the comment section below. And Chris, you got anything else to say about this upcoming season?
Just looking forward to the season, man. Looking forward for our new additions and our returning guys to hopefully perform well, and hopefully were able to get out of the first damn round of the playoffs.
Yeah, like you said, the fourth year in a row that we haven't made it past the first round. Definitely disappointing, but hopefully we can make it past that round of the playoffs and finally get past the rest of the teams and get hopefully to the Stanley Cup and then bring it home to Ottawa. But either way, guys, I'm going to end it here. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and let me know what you're thinking about in the comments. And one thing I just want to mention, thank you all for leaving positive comments on my videos and saying that you enjoy them or if they're working for you or whatever. Just leaving nice things. I definitely read all of them and notice them. So thank you guys very much, and see you later.